going on? I'm back with another video for you guys today. I don't know if this was suggested, but it was in my folder to react to, so I don't know which channel this is, but it is going to be an animated horror. Oh, so it's going to be IMR. I don't think this was a suggestion, but it could have been. I'll try to find a suggestion in the comments by searching it. If I can't find it, then I can't find it, but yeah, this may or may not be a suggestion. I'll put it here, whether or not, if it was or not. But yeah, this is going to be 2 Among Us animated horror stories. So again, I have not seen animated horror stories in a little bit. It's been quite a bit, it seems like, so don't mind getting back into some horror stories as well, since that is what I started reacting to in the first place. Of course, I've expanded basically reacting to anything, but I definitely like watching my horror stories, though. I definitely like it. So 2 Among Us animated horror stories by IMR Scary Tales, and let's get right into the video. Let's go. Please consider subscribing to me too, guys. He was a real life monster.
Turned my life into a living nightmare. I'm still trying to recover from this trauma. I'm from California, and our college has always been a fun place for all the students. Even though we picked on each other a bit, no one ever did anything as harmful as this. Maybe that's why no one expected it to happen, and kept on playing the current trending online game, Among Us. Joining college after a long-lived quarantine came like bliss to us. But due to the protection measures of COVID-19, our football coach canceled our practices until December.
Oh, that sucks.
You can now imagine how a bunch of locker room boys got a handful of time to kill after school. So, we all decided to do a bit of online gaming, sitting at our school cafeteria using the time slot of our football practice. For those who don't know about this game yet, let me give you a brief idea. It's a game one can play with friends online, adding your friend by sharing a private passkey.
And when's the imposter?
For those who want to play alone, you can also go for a public search to play with other unknown players. The game is a task-based murder mystery. There are 2 kinds of players in this game, crewmates and an imposter. The crewmates finish the tasks in a space station, and the imposter takes chances to execute them silently. After discovering the body of the murdered crewmate, an emergency meeting takes place, and everyone has to vote who is the imposter. The game continues if they fail to spot the imposter. Long story short, we were a group of 10 guys, hence we
Everyone's just playing like cop. Everybody.
Without seeking other unknown players online.
Everybody.
The game allows you to increase the number of imposters, but we decided to keep only 1 for the game to become interesting.
Well, I can have up to 3. That's great.
The game has created its avatar in such a way that, except the player, no one can guess which avatar belongs to whom, and we all decided to keep it a secret for the enjoyment purpose.
They're all playing. Everyone in the cafeteria.
After school, we all jumped on the game. The game was going well. We had 2 rounds of emergency meetings. As the imposter wasn't making any moves, everyone started to make fun of the imposter, without knowing who it was, by saying, "What a dork, dude. Seems like the imposter is too scared to take a life virtually. The imposter is making things boring," etc. I stared at everyone's face, but couldn't guess who was the imposter, though after the end of the game, we were informed about his avatar, that no one revealed the imposter's identity. The next day, due to rainy weather, we left the school early and decided to play.
Where's your fucking curtains at?
By sharing the passkey. The imposter managed to murder 7 crewmates without getting caught.
Wow.
Everyone got back their interest in the game. No one revealed the avatar of the imposter for obvious reasons. At the end of the game, we came to know a blue-colored crewmate was the imposter, but to keep the fun going, we decided not to reveal our avatars, so no one could guess who was whom. I went to bed thinking, who could be the imposter, and eventually fell asleep. When I woke up that following morning, I heard my dad talking to our college principal on the phone. I went downstairs and asked him, "What happened, Dad?" He replied in a worried voice, "One of your friends died last night. The school boards are calling every parent and warning us to keep caution.
Wait,
the cops
what?
think he was murdered mysteriously."
What?
I was beyond terrified to hear the news.
Among Us
I
come.
quickly called my friends and came to know it was Liam. He went to the backyard to dump the garbage at night, and someone silently came and slit his throat. The game Among Us also allows the imposter to kill the crewmates with a sharp, pointy knife. I didn't know what to say. I
Among Us
didn't
come
know
to
why
life.
the game came into my mind after hearing the details about Liam's murder. If I stayed on this gut feeling that day, I might have been able to lessen the damage. But our school organized a little ceremony to pay our condolences to Liam's family and pray for his soul to be in
Yeah, but it was
peace.
everybody in
The
that group,
of
right?
10 became a group of 9. A few days passed, and we were all starting to get back to normal life. One evening, I was
Where's the
sitting
fucking
at home
curtains?
bored when a friend suggested playing Among Us to kill time. Though everyone was quite upset with Liam's mysterious death, we all thought it would be a nice way to keep our minds preoccupied for a while. We started the game, and after 2 rounds of play, things were the same again. After winning his crewmates on that 3rd round, I felt the pattern repeating itself. The imposter now behaving exactly like that, killing people randomly and managing to win the game by lying in our emergency chat. This time, I asked the group chat who played the imposter in the 3rd round. Chris and Jack revealed they played the imposter in the first 2 rounds, but when asked about the 3rd round, everyone said it wasn't them. I feel someone among us was lying, but I didn't know why. Something about this was feeling odd. I told my friends I didn't want to play anymore and left the game. After that day, the actual horror began. My friends started to die mysteriously. Chris was found dead in our school library.
Oh my
His throat
God.
was slit too. Blood gushed out from his neck and stained the floor red. It was a vicious sight when his body was discovered. Then it was Sam. He went for a swim in our school swimming pool. A couple of cheerleaders found him floating in a pool of his own blood. Cause of death: someone slit his throat. After 3 horrible deaths of our friends, we all shook in fear. We stopped going out after school or roaming around the streets. One day, Jack frantically came to see me. He seemed really nervous and panicked. I asked him, "What is it?" He said in a broken voice, "I think someone from our group is the imposter." I couldn't understand it at first, so I asked him, "What do you mean?" He said, "Don't you get it? Someone is playing the role of a real imposter among us. It's one of us who is not playing this game in real life, but also enjoying it." A chilling sensation went down my spine.
But what if
Jack
it's this
and I
red-haired
decided
guy?
to see the principal the next day and tell him about all of this. I went to school and waited for Jack to arrive. We didn't tell our friends, as we didn't want to freak them out as well. After a while, I saw Jack walking towards
Okay,
me.
he's alive.
I waved at him. He came to see me and said, "I called our principal. He said he will see us within an hour. Until then, I have to go to the library and return some books." I had nothing to do but wait, so I decided to accompany him. We went to the library. It was empty.
No,
As kids
I
these days
thought I saw
hardly come
knives.
here. Jack pointed towards the last shelf on the left corner and started walking towards it.
I feel like he's the
He told me to
imposter.
hold his backpack as his hands were filled with books already. As he got busy keeping his books, I decided to surf on my phone for a while. So I put his bag on the table near me, and as the bag hit the table, I heard a heavy metal sound, as if something in his bag clanked with the table surface.
I knew it was
Out
him.
of
It's a knife.
curiosity, I opened his bag, and what I saw, it stopped my heart immediately. Jack was carrying a sharp kitchen knife. It had blood stains on it.
Fuck, have shows.
I looked up to him with trembling eyes. He was still busy arranging the books. He turned towards me and said, "Max, come over here and help me real quick. Bring my bag for me too. I have some books in it." I knew what was going to happen next. I knew he wanted to lure me by going to him so that he can slit my throat like Liam and Chris. I didn't wait for a second and ran to the principal's office with his backpack in my hand. The cops showed up at our campus. They discovered blood-stained clothes from Jack's locker. Jack was handcuffed and taken into police custody. We all watched him as he walked slowly to the police car. Before getting inside, he turned to us and said, in a creepy voice, "Trust me, guys, it's so much more fun in real life." The Jack I saw at that moment, that wasn't my friend. His smile put me on edge. I almost became numb with fear. Jack is now in a mental institution. Doctors think over-obsession to this online game is what led him to commit these horrible murders. It's more disturbing to think how a game changed my friend. I believe this is why people say Too much of anything is not good. Be careful, guys. It's really hard to identify the imposter in real life. Don't let an online game influence you in such a manner that you end up ruining your life forever.
That was honestly fucking terrifying. Like, when I saw him, I was like, he's sus. I was like, he's definitely sus. He's doing something. My son is still among
My
us.
husband is a store manager. We live in a suburb of North California. My son Jimmy is a highly active child. He is always up to something. When he was little, I used to give him cookies or snacks just to keep him busy, but now he's 9 years old and always running around the house. A month back, he came home and asked his dad to buy him an Android phone. He said he wants it to play a game called Among Us. My husband denied to buy him one. As for a 9-year-old having an Android phone, that's not at all a necessity. I also agreed with him. Jimmy got angry at us.
Maybe a tablet.
Eating.
Tablet, but not a
I felt
phone.
upset, but my husband said it's for his own good. Giving an Android phone to a kid is like snatching their childhood innocence. The next day, I went to pick up my son after school, and his teacher told me that he was caught with an Android phone during his math class.
From who?
I was completely surprised as we didn't give him any mobile phone.
He's only 9 too, and he's like stealing phones?
Asked him where he got the phone. He shook his head and didn't reply for some time. Jimmy has always been a good kid. He never lies to me.
He's the imposter.
And asked him again. He told me it was Alex's phone. Alex gave it to him to play for a while.
Who dat?
I immediately called Alex's mother and told her not to let her son carry such expensive stuff to school. She was surprised to hear this and said she'd keep an eye on Alex, just to make sure he doesn't bring that kind of stuff to school again. I gave Jimmy a bowl of ice cream and told him that if he promises to behave and finish his homework on time, I'll let him play games on my phone after he gets home from school.
Damn.
Jimmy hugged me in joy and promised to obey. I didn't tell my husband about this incident, as I decided to take care of it on my own. I figured it wouldn't harm anyone if I let my 9-year-old play a video game for a while. Things got much easier for me, as Jimmy enjoyed playing a video game, and I could concentrate on my work peacefully. Kids these days are much sharper than I was in my time. I used to notice his face light up while he played on the phone, but I didn't know my indulgence would cost me and Jimmy for life. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Fuck, I'm scared now.
I fell asleep on the porch while watching TV.
On the porch?
I didn't realize
TV.
when Jimmy took my phone and kept playing his favorite game.
Wait, on the porch with the TV?
Sitting there on the kitchen floor. My husband was away on a fishing trip, so it was just me and my son around the house. I woke up from slumber and saw the entire house was in darkness. First, I felt like I was dreaming, but the pale sun rays coming behind the window curtain explained.
I thought you said you were on the porch.
There was a power outage.
And why is the window wide open?
Going through some electrical repairing, so 2 or 3 times a week, we were facing power outages for 5 to 10 minutes. I got up and went looking for candles.
Why is your window wide open?
After 5 minutes of silence around the house,
Your window's wide open.
something felt really odd to me. I noticed Jimmy was nowhere to be found. I called his name out loud, but there was no reply. I was quickly becoming more afraid and went outside of the house calling his name. Suddenly, I hear his voice come from our backyard. I rushed to the backyard.
Is he luring her?
Jimmy was there,
Whoa.
standing near our electrical wiring board. He was standing on a rusty tin lid to reach the wiring section of the board that had a bunch of wires hanging down from it.
What?
Our house was quite old, hence the wiring just being in the back. I said in a worried voice, "Jimmy, please come down from there, and don't touch those wires." But my poor innocent Jimmy smiled at me and said, "Look, Mama, I'll fix the power, just like the crewmate does in Among Us." My heart started racing like a horse. I knew a huge accident would occur if Jimmy kept holding onto those wires. He was about 15 feet away from me. I ran towards him as fast as I could, and then the power snapped back, and I heard the world's most horrifying sound. My Jimmy made a loud whimper, and I saw tons of fire sparking around him, and the entire backyard was filled with smoke. A smell of human flesh burning made the air heavy. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. It felt like the entire sky fell over my head. The smell of human flesh burning was choking me, and I just wanted to die at that moment. It's been a month now, My husband and I shifted to a new home. I couldn't live in the same house that my son had died in. The memories were too difficult to bear. Now, I just sit around the window and think about how a made-up game ruined his life. From this game, Among Us, my little Jimmy thought that holding on the wires and tying them up was exactly the way people resolve power cutting issues. The first 2 weeks were near impossible for me to go on with. How could I go on knowing that my negligence made me lose my only child? But now, I don't cry anymore. Do you know why? Every day I play Among Us, whenever my husband is at home, just when the game starts, and the eerie space sounds.
Look at her face.
I hear my little Jimmy giggling and running around the house. Yes, Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy comes to see me. The game helps me to reunite with my son. I kept this a secret from my husband, as he would never believe me. But whenever the game flashes onto my phone, I hear Jimmy whispering to me, "Let's play Among Us together, Mama. I love this game. There's no reason to be afraid of my own child." Right? I mean, he misses us, and we miss him too. I will keep playing this game every afternoon, as long as it keeps Jimmy among us.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't know if I actually had the game like on my phone or anything like that, like had the actual game on my phone. But bro, can you imagine someone actually in real life doing that? Like there's 10 people playing and then one person literally is the imposter killing them in real life. Sorry, excuse me. Just the fact that he smiled after and he was like, "It's so much better in your life." Fuck, it's so eerie and like spine chilling and just, oh my god. Fuck. I don't understand how people do that. Like I really don't I don't understand how people just do that. Like whether it's a game, it's not a game because you're actually killing somebody. So it's not a game, I don't care what you say, it's not a game. That's real life that you're fucking with. So that ain't a game. That's not a game at all. So you can't do that. You literally cannot. That's just terrible. Please don't do that. That's just so messed up. I don't even know how to comprehend that, to be honest. Oh my god, I just don't, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm sorry, I just don't really know what to say. But the fact that he actually went on to kill people in real life, and his son literally thought that fixing the lines in the game would fix the power in real life. Oh my god, what a poor kid. Like at 9 or 10 though, wouldn't you know though that like that's not how it works, and wouldn't you know that's just a game? Plus like who the hell has like a huge power thing just in their back? That's so weird. Like I get that your house is old and everything, but like, what? Like I don't see how that's the case. Like I don't. And what I mean by I don't see how that's the case is I mean like there's wires just going, like 1 wire, 2 wires, 3 wires, like I don't understand, it's just in the air. Like why would you have such an old home that like you literally have like your whole power system in the back? That's so weird. Like what? It's like a little, it's basically a power plant for your house. Like wouldn't that all be chained off and all that, like totally encircled, like away from the house a little bit, like kind of blocked at least, or something? Like how do your kids play in the backyard? Like how did your kid at 6 years old, 4 years old play outside in the backyard when there's a big thing right there? I don't know if I'm just saying myself sketched out, but I feel like I'm seeing shadows in my room and it's kind of scaring me right now. It's 1:41 in the morning right now and I'm actually kind of scared, like low-key kind of scared right now. Yo, I don't like this. Okay, I gotta go to bed, guys, because now I'm scared. Anyways, I just don't get how that happens. I really feel bad for the kid because he basically lost his life from a game, and it's just really unfortunate. It's just really sad. Like the mom just happens to fall asleep, obviously not expecting the kid to just do a bunch of shit with wires, you know. But fuck, imagine witnessing your child basically being zapped to death. Holy fuck, that would just be terrifying. I don't even know. Like you're not. It's not that your kid just dies. You watch him as he dies. You see him right before. you see him during his death, and you see him right after. It's just traumatizing to see. And then just the fact that she plays Among Us just to kind of like connect with him from heaven. Oh, that's kind of creepy, but also kind of sweet, but also kind of creepy. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to comment down below what your favorite part of the video was. Do you guys play Among Us? I don't think I've ever played it. Maybe I have, but definitely not a lot. But yeah, that's why you don't let your kids play with mobile devices, I guess. So I guess keep that in mind, guys. If you have a 9-year-old that plays Among Us, you're grounded till you're 10. Yeah, subscribe and turn on post notifications for both of our channels, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, deuces. Bye.